How close is it now? That's just okay.
If we click on and set up the backdrop, it was affected.
Wow. Wow. You want to have the picture with a different way. The only issue is that it's you cannot force the left it's there. It's just I'm so sorry, guys. Fasting for my you all. Can someone give us prayer? Okay. Get prayer. The Lord like this. See? In Jesus' name. Amen. Father, we thank you for a day as this. We thank you for bringing us together here today for such a time as this. We commit this day to your hands and we ask that all that we discuss here, we get to the right channel. Everything that we intend to do here today will achieve a desired goal. And whatsoever it is that understanding that some may not have, let the right questions come and the wisdom to answer them be given to us up here. And Yoruba land will always remain protected, safe in the hands of those that our fathers have left it for. Amen. Muslim prayer, please. Àbọrúbọyé o, àbọyìnbọ ṣíṣẹ, gbogbo àtọ asúrèbò ìbò fún fẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan wa. A ṣe ìbà kọ́dá, ìbà ṣẹ̀dá, ìbà Olódùmarè ọba tó dán gbogbo. A ṣe ìbà àwọn ìyá wa Òṣòròmọ̀nìgà. Atorí dapá àtẹ̀rẹ̀dọkàn àti fún jòróró àwọn àjẹ̀dòyìn mọ́bì. Ẹ jẹ́ kí bá wa, ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣẹ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ wa lónìí, ìsíde wa tí a fẹ́ ṣe nípa gbogbo nǹkan tí a fẹ́ gbé jáde. Kójú wa ṣe o, kó má ṣe hun wa o. A pe gbogbo gbarúmọlẹ̀, a pe gbogbo àwọn alálẹ̀, a pe gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti gba epo lónìí, gbogbo èyí tó ti gba omi lónìí, gbogbo èyí tó ti gba ẹ̀jẹ̀ lónìí. Gbogbo èyí tí a fẹ́ ṣe yìí kó má ṣe hun wa o. Gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni, èèyàn kéèyàn, lọ́kùnrin, lóbìnrin, lọ́mọdé, lágbà, tó bá lóun ó takò wá tàbí òun kọ dínà Think Yorùbá First, Ògùn Adúláwọ̀, lákàáyé òsì mọ́lẹ̀, olómi létí fẹ́ jẹ́wẹ̀ ò lásọ létí kìmọ̀kìmọ̀ fúnra, kẹ bá wa dá wọn lọ́lá, kẹ bá wa dá wọn lásọ. Tí wọ́n bá rìn lọ́nà kẹ dá wọn lọ́lá, tí wọ́n bá tún wà nínú ilé wọn kẹ tó dá sọ̀rọ̀ wọn. Inú àgbàrá ẹ̀jẹ̀ báyìí kó wọ́n sùn. Kó níbẹ̀ kó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ká ṣe ọ̀run ògùn. Àwa tá a wá sọ pé a gbé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dání, ta la fẹ́ mọ dáàbò bò, ta la ń wá ìlọsíwájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Èjì kókó ìwòrì, ọmọ àrìngbòrò jìfà, tẹjúmọ́ mi kò wò mí re, gbogbo bíkíbi ta bá ti ń dé kán mọ̀ wò wá re, torí pé ojú re báyìí la fi ń wowó, ojú re ni káyọ̀ mọ̀ fi wò wá. Kó mọ dá wa lọ́lá owó, kó mọ dá wa lọ́lá ọlá, kó mọ dá wa lọ́lá ẹ̀mí gígùn, àìkú baálé ọ̀rọ̀ kó mọ jẹ́ tẹnì kankan wa. Ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, àṣẹ ọ̀run kùn tó ń solúwo tùfẹ́ ìtẹ̀jùgbọ̀nà, àṣẹ àbọ̀rúbọ yìnbọn ṣiṣẹ́ wà tọ́. Thank you very much. Start. My name is Sanwo. I am the lead legal consultant to Think Yorùbá First, Igbo Sociocultural Association. We are here today to brief the press, the media, both nationally and internationally, on our topic. The subject we have today, cultural defamation and historical distortions in publications that happened in Ile-Ife and Yoruba heritage worldwide. So to introduce ourselves, we have our members here present with us. Myself, as I've introduced, we also have our PRO with us, Mr. Oluwale Lewis. Also on our side here, we have our members as well. Your name, please.
I am Rode, and I am the Operation Manager for TYF.
I am Lukman Adeboye, the Lagos State Coordinator for TYF.
And someone in Femi, PRO Lagos State.
Salaudin Abdullah Lawale, TYF Park, the Political Action Committee.
My name is Siti Lola Aboyade. I'm the Director of Operations for TYF UK.
Thank you very much. So we are here today. Our members are also all around us here and all over the world listening to us. So I would start by introducing the organization. Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this press briefing conveyed by Think Yoruba First Ogudulawo Socio-Cultural Association, TYF Worldwide. Our association is a pan-Yoruba socio-cultural organization dedicated to the protection, preservation, and promotion of Yoruba land worldwide. Yoruba history also, identity, and intellectual integrity across the entire globe. We speak for the entire Yoruba race, both home and abroad. We at TYF love all ethnicities and all people of all nations, no matter your creed, religion, or race. Whether you're ethnic, Ibibio, Fulani, Hausa, Igbo, Chinese, French, or German, TYF is a lover of all ethnicities. So a brief exposure about us. Think Yoruba First is a socio-cultural and socio-democratic organization that is organized exclusively for the development and promotion of the Yoruba in the realm of education, science, culture, arts, finance, and self-preservation. The organization is driven by the principles of Awoism and Yorubanism that is deeply rooted in the progressiveness and conservation of the Yorubas, as exemplified by the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Think Yoruba First simply means Yoruba Renu. Just like the Holy Book says, come now, let us reason together. We admonish every Yoruba man, woman, and child to think Yoruba first together. Generation of Yorubas for the continuity of our race. The organization is duly registered as a non-profit organization in 3 continents, America, Europe, and Africa. Our activities centers around promotion of culture, tradition of the Yoruba people, promoting the conversation, the conservation of Yoruba identity, language, and ideologies via Yoruba nationalism drive. We focus on education, youth development, social and economic development schemes, and many more. The Yoruba are a pride of the Black race. We hail from the western region of present-day southwest of Nigeria and are indigenous to the regions extending to adjacent countries, including Togo, Republic of Benin, and Ghana. We are also transatlantic, and many of our descendants are now domiciled in Brazil, Cuba, Trinidad, and Tobago by virtue of the unfortunate events in the Atlantic Age. From Yoruba creation's history, Ile-Ife is the cradle of Yoruba people and considered to be the site of creation of Mother Earth. According to Yoruba mythology, it is from Ile-Ife that civilization arose for all mankind. We are constantly learning, evolving, and seeking out new ways to approach to make a difference. We are constantly learning, evolving, and seeking out new ways to approach, to make a difference and amplify our impact in Yoruba land, first and beyond. We believe in the power of community and strive to create a safe and inclusive space for all our members and beyond. We are an ideological group of everyday people standing together to create a better world. Why are we here today? We have invited you here today to formally draw national and international attention to a grave matter of cultural defamation and historical distortions against the entire Yoruba people, contained in the recently published book titled The Igbo People, History and World View. The authors are Don Eze and Chinedu Ochinanwata. The publisher of the book is Adonis and Abbey Publishers Limited, ISBN number 97819139762224. The issues at stake. The book is currently widely circulated in academic and public spaces. It contains false, libelous, and culturally offensive claims about Yoruba origins and the sacred city of Ile-Ife. Among its offensive assertions are: number one, that the Igbo were the original inhabitants of Ile-Ife, and that the Yorubas are immigrants who usurped control. Two, that a supposed conflict in Ile-Ife led to an Igbo eastward migration with the Onitsha people as the last to leave. Three, the fabrication of an Adona Idu empire as a precursor to Ile-Ife history, a claim unsupported by the Ifa corpus, the Odu-Ifa, authentic Yoruba oral traditions, or credible historical scholarship. Four, a deliberate attempt to dilute and distort the originality of Ile-Ife as the ancestral and spiritual cradle of Yoruba civilization. Why does this matter? These reckless falsehoods are not merely academic errors. They amount to cultural defamation, attacking the dignity and heritage of the Yoruba people. It also forms historical distortion, falsifying facts that are sacred and well established. It also is intellectually dishonest, undermining authentic research or tradition and Ifa knowledge. It also has a potential ethnic provocation, creating narratives that may endanger peace, that may endanger peaceful coexistence between Nigerians. Ile-Ife is not simply a location on the map. It is the very cradle of broken and are now alert to their Omoluabi responsibility constructively and responding succinctly and appropriately with deserving applause or otherwise. For the avoidance of doubt, Ile-Ife is the Garden of Eden of the entire Yoruba creation. The land, the water, and the soul is our birthright. We are not merely laying claims, but these claims are backed by both archaeological evidences and historical records, which are globally and judicially recognized. We affirm categorically that Ile-Ife remains the undisputed cradle of Yoruba civilization. The claims advanced in this book are baseless, offensive, and unacceptable. Yoruba heritage and identity are non-negotiable and indivisible. We, as a formidable organization of the Yoruba people worldwide, do not allow Nigeria to become anti-intellectual or mediocre in advancement because of ancestry and race. Because our ancestry and race is the intelligentsia of Nigeria. It is evidence in the decisive strides of the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who has also replicated himself in many statesmen today, like our President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Baba Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The fact speaks for itself. Let's keep sad with it all. The voice of the people is the voice of God. In one voice and as an organization with global membership of millions of beautiful Yoruba men and women, we categorically advise all and sundry to invest in books and history and not in bullets and hate. We are taking these civil and legal steps to resolve all inter and intra-ethnic disputes because we uphold and affirm the ideology of Pax Yorubana. Let Nigeria begin to learn from Yoruba land that peace brings continued prosperity and progress to any land or nation that embraces dialogue and constructive criticism. Let us not use our scarce resources that is meant for the development for the opposite. We at TYF love all ethnicities and all people of all nations, no matter your creed, religion, or race, and we reciprocate such love or otherwise aura for aura. Our executed actions on the instant, we have embarked on the following, saving the last for the best. 1. Institutional petitions. We have submitted and are submitting petitions to relevant Nigerian and international bodies, including the National Library of Nigeria, the Nigerian Copyright Commission, the National Council for Arts and Culture, the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Nigerian Press Council, and other UK-based academic and cultural institutions. 2. Policy engagement. We are formally notifying Yoruba development institutions, including the Southwest Development Commission, state governments, Yoruba traditional councils, and others to take official notice and act in cultural defense. Public awareness. We are mobilizing Yoruba communities worldwide to understand these threats, defend our heritage, and reject any attempt to rewrite our collective history. Legal action. TYF Worldwide is initiating both local and international legal processes against the authors and publishers for libel, cultural defamation, and intellectual dishonesty. We call on all Yoruba sons and daughters across the world to stand united in defense of Ile-Ife and Yoruba civilization. We call on our Yoruba traditional leaders to pursue peace and dialogue and join hands with TYF as an organization ordained by both Eledumare and men to take Yoruba land to the next level of socio-political consciousness. We call on academic institutions, both locally and internationally, media organizations to reject falsified accounts or narratives and promote authentic Yoruba scholarship. Our government and cultural institutions also to protect Yoruba heritage as part of Nigeria's national identity. So the press also is to responsibly report and amplify the truth, ensuring deliberate distortions do not gain legitimacy. In conclusion, we reiterate again that TYF worldwide does not hate any ethnicity, more particularly the Igbo people. The Yoruba people of Yoruba land are proud of their civilization with an ancient history rooted in truth, depth, and divinely preserved heritage, well known as the Omoluabi ethos. We will not fold our arms while others seek to erase, appropriate, or falsify our origins. As we take this stand today, we send a clear message. Yoruba history is sacred. Ile-Ife is non-negotiable. Our identity cannot be distorted. We thank you all for your presence and for your role in ensuring that truth prevails over falsehood. Thank you very much. We would now like to take questions, clarifications, or whatever you have for us. If any of them would you like to also add to? I call Mr. Montero to also add to what we have said today.
Okay. Basically, I think we need to make a few things clear. The author mentioned they try to revise history, fabricate what did never happen, and more or less edits reality. We must state clearly that Obatala had no link with Igbos. I repeat, Obatala had no link with Igbos. Neither his descendants nor his relatives had links with Igbos. That is a fact that our children must grow up to learn. Oduduwa himself has no link with Igbos. Neither did Oromiyan, who more or less expanded the territory. So there is no history of Igbos in Ile-Ife ancestrally. In fact, the Igbos, they are not even Yoruba. You can have a look at their language. There is no link at all. In fact, we never even interacted before the 1920s. We never interacted. So it is preposterous to even suggest that Ile-Ife belonged to them. They were never there. The ancestors were never there. And when you target Ile-Ife, what you are doing is you are doing ethnic erasure. That's what you are trying to do. Because that will be the source of every one of us. If you begin to say that Ile-Ife is ancestrally yours, what you are trying to say is that we have been living a lie, and that cannot stand. I cannot allow my children to grow up to read that. So we'll do everything necessary to resist this and make sure that our descendants do not grow up with. Because what they are trying to do is more or less deplete the self-esteem of Yorubas, and that cannot happen. The moment they do that, it will be very easy to run you over in your territories. And so this is why this had to be done. Yes. Thank you. We'll take questions, please.
Questions, please. Okay.
Alright. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, as I write for one FM, so I would like to speak in Yoruba. That is what I would have expected when the group is not thinking about first. But that is the reason now I'm putting on the place I'm putting on today. So when I have the thought of the bad guy in Mondo, so I have to feel more. You know, we have to think of others as well. Sorry, is that? We have to think of those who make it. Yes, I think that you go back to the first thing, then you can take it in English, bro. That's by the way. That's by the way. The question now is, as a group, there are other areas. Is there any coalition between, okay, let me say it in Yoruba. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá kan lè fi wà. Ilẹ̀ káàró òjìrè ká jẹ́ kí a dáàbò bò àgbájọwọ́ ni kò ṣe kan tí èèyàn kan lè dá ṣe. Kí ni ohun tẹ́ ń ṣe láti lè rí pé ẹjọ́ jókòó ẹ pérò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí? Is that all? Yes, that's all from the observation. Okay, she would like to respond to you example. Ẹ ṣe ṣe mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi ẹgbẹ́ ló wà. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó dáa ni àwọn tó tún díẹ̀ káàtó. So Afẹ́nifẹ́re ni a bá ní ìjọṣepọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa l'Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Nígbà tá a bá ní ìtọ́ wa sọ́nà àwọn bá wọn èèyàn jà. Nígbà táwọn náà bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ correct one or two things wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. So to answer your question, Afẹ́nifẹ́re for now, Nkola ní any collaboration pẹ̀lú.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I know.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá wa, ẹ ṣé agbẹjọ́rò wa. Yes, lóòótọ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re nìkan ló wà lákọsílẹ̀ wípé àkùbá ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú ẹgbẹ́ tí Yorùbá pọ̀, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lóríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà, lóríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n wà nínú oríṣiríṣi ẹgbẹ́ ni wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. So in essence, gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ náà ni ẹgbẹ́ Think Yorùbá First bá ṣe. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ibrahim Yusuf. I write for Nation. I listen to your remarks quite instructive. Two questions are there, right? The first one, I maybe you in that part. Where was the organization set up? You know, if yeah, you have done like that. Sorry, I'm going to deviate a bit.
That's two questions already.
Yes, I'm going to deviate a bit. The third question, yes, third question, quite important. I'm talking about your organization promote peace and neighborliness among Yoruba and even beyond. Now as you speak now, there is the very nation of Yoruba, the figure that you accept as the nation of Yoruba. I mean, the leader of Yoruba is Oni of Ife. Oni of Ife. Maybe as I'm corrected, there is a fantastic clash between the Oni of Ife and Alafin. So these are people who are supposed to look up to for direction and and guidance. The two of them, as you speak, are actually involved in some personality context, identity crisis.
Yes.
What is would that not that will also rub off on that would not be a good thing for us, because they are the people we look up to. Is the group concerned about this current rate between the two of us? Thank you.
So starting from your last question, we do not want to comment on the current issue going on with anybody. or with any institution or with any personalities. The reason why we are here is for historical discussion against the Yoruba people and for cultural defamation. That is what we are here to talk about. And we want to keep it that way. Your second question was on so our legal team, which I head, would put things together, and there will be appropriate information about that very soon. Also, your first question was asking about when we were registered. So, like I said earlier, we are registered in the United States of America. We are registered in Europe. We're also registered in Nigeria. The registration itself for Think Yoruba First has been done in different continents of the world. In Nigeria, currently, we have a lot we are doing. As regards registration, we have different groups, different committees, different that are already registered under us. So if you're looking to look at where we were actually registered, this institution was actually first registered in the United States of America, followed by the United Kingdom. So, I cannot get that. I think it was in 2001 or 2. I can't ascertain at the moment. But we are registered, we're duly registered, and we're looking to register in more countries where we have Yoruba people.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is the name of the author?
The author, they are co-authors. The names are so I will make available this speech. Yes, Dom's Easy and Chinedu Ochin and Wata.
Okay, because I'm reading a report here that says that Nigerian government resource is containing controversial Yoruba history. So I want to know if it's the same what you're for. The one I have is one June. I will check the first one, not for me to be very clear. Okay, so I just want to confirm if it's the same.
So yes, there was a book that the Ministry of Education had a press release and disclaimed the book for several reasons. Yes, so that book there's already a Ministry of Education press release in that regard addressing that particular book.
Okay, so
this book is different from this. So there are a lot of distortions going on, and that is why we saw the need to put this together, that this must come to a stop.
Okay, so what is your message to the government? What role do you want the government to play?
They should protect, preserve, and promote cultural heritage of all ethnicities.
It's also beholden that when an author comes up with an intellectual piece meant for educational purposes, it goes through the proper stage of scrutiny before it is allowed to make it to the educational universe or circle, as it were. So the government is up to its task in scrutinizing books, really books on history, knowing how diverse we are as a nation. They would know when and how to meet it in the board. So we don't have to have a press conference as this. So it is important that we have this now to make the government understand that books as it were, if everybody goes to the curriculum, goes to the Ministry of Education, and they have the tabs to go through every publication and for approval. So the government should do that. Thank you very much.
Okay, I also need to add, sorry, I also need to add the title of the book, right?
Yes, of this particular.
The Igbo people history and worldview.
I'll make available
Okay,
the
we also
statement.
like to get.
Yeah, I'll make available the statement.
Okay, tell your to answer.
Yeah, Wikipedia is also being edited by some of these mischievous elements to, yeah, to spread narratives. Yeah, it's not true. And there's also a particular blog. I don't know if I can mention the name. Voice of something. That's a particular person. She's actually amplifying those narratives. So that's why it is very, very important we come here to resist some of these narratives.
Okay, are these books being sold in schools? Are they being sold?
Yes, they were.
So,
They are
so
sold.
we are not sure of
They're not sure of that.
we're not sure of this particular book because we had to get a copy of it on online bookseller. So online bookstores, that's where we have to get. So it's all over the internet. It's available for everyone globally. But we could not get a hard copy of it in Nigeria. We have tried to get it. We are not able to get it. But our members all over the world were able to get access to it. So we find something very, we find academic and intellectual dishonesty at play here. And we seek to understand what these people seek to achieve with what they have written. Another part of it is that we don't want issues. Like we said, we believe in peace and progress for Nigeria. When narratives like this continue to go on for a long time, it becomes a case of a lie. You say a lie so well that it becomes the truth. So before it becomes a lie so well that it already is, it can never be the truth. So that is why we are addressing this narrative. We don't, any other narrative we hear going forward, we are going to respond to it appropriately.
But you don't even have access to these people. Maybe they are not in Nigeria.
We have no comments about that. All right. We have no comments about that.
Okay, sir.
And then in France alone.
We don't do this.
From France alone,
Okay.
as a group, traditional rulers and the custodians, portion and nation. To say, what role have you made to work with the traditional rulers and the government to ensure such things will not happen again?
Yes. Thank you for that question. Our Yoruba traditional rulers, we, just like any group of people, we as we have both traditional rulers, all Yoruba people, they are part and of this. We speak for all Yoruba people. What I want to say categorically is that the traditional rulers and the government, we have collaborations with them at different levels in different stages. It depends on what we actually want to either promote, protect, or preserve. So that is what aims our partnership. But we are open to partnership with the government, like we're already doing. And for our traditional rulers, what I want to say is we are not here to call out any traditional ruler in Yoruba land or to say this one is right, that one is wrong. No way. We are a group suing for peace. There has been relative peace and progress in southwest Nigeria, in Yoruba land, and we want it to translate to the whole of Nigeria. And we believe in the wisdom of our elders with the strength of the young people. If we combine both forces together, it is the right recipe for change. We need the wisdom of our traditional rulers and our elders. we are consulting with them. We need the advice and the guidance of the government. We are consulting with them. Young people too, we need them on board this movement. It's a global movement. We have members all over the globe. We have members in the United States, Trinidad and Tobago. So we have everywhere you have Yoruba people. We have our people there.
Also, he talked about letters being sent to some bodies. Letters too were sent to our national leaders, so they know what is happening. In case they don't know, they know what's happening. They know our stance on this. So that's the first step that we're taking to let them know about what's happening. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Okay, from CBC News, my name is Ola. Okay, when I got to know about this question, I expected that when it gets here, because it's focused on the particular material, particular literature material that is distorting the history of Yoruba. So I expected that we have at least a copy of the book here, because that is what we're speaking against, part of the context of it. But since you mentioned now that we're making a reference more on the soft copy of the book that has gone viral on the internet. So if we got like they have even if the soft copy printed and we have the page and we say this book, because that's one way we can go out there and talk about this book, and some houses will still have this book and they may not know which particular book we're talking about. But if we have this amplified here, we can say this is the book that is, saying this that is not right, that is saying that is not right. That's one. Then secondly, for every book that is published, there is always, you also mentioned in your address that the name of the publisher and all that. Have you tried to, I don't know if, yeah, for every book, there's always a contact. There's always a contact because this is specific. This address is specific to that particular book. To make a contact to say, this is what we're doing, this that you have done is not right, just like the federal government did the one that they did, that's a different book. And the narrative is spread in different quarters, as you said, which shouldn't be. So I don't know what we can do in this regard. If you have a copy, about the book, for us to say cover, say this is how the book looks like. So anyone who sees the book, you may not have access to it. The book may be somewhere in maybe a local book store or something. Yes. So anybody who sees it will say, oh, this is the book that they are making reference to. And can easily say, this book here.
All right, so I get the gist of your question. Okay. So legally speaking, we do not he who asserts must prove. They have already, the deed has already been done. We have evidence against them. We have copies of the book. We'll make it available to us. Yes, we will make that available. Yes. So we have copies of we have a copy of the book. So it's our members in the United States, in the UK, they have copies of this book. Just because of time and we're not able to probably ship it down. But what we are saying is this particular book has already distorted. It's like you have an evidence against someone written forward. So that's the whole essence of defamation. It's the deed has already been done. Now what we are doing is to tell them to cease and desist. That is the only thing we have to say to the publishers and to the authors. Cease and desist, and even the online stores that are promoting this book. All we need to tell them is cease and desist from these further acts of cultural defamation and historical distortion of the Yoruba origins in Ile-Ife. That is all we owe them, and it's by way of notice. So we put them on notice. So having done that, Your first question about the copy of the book, it is available. We so for reasons, some reasons we are not able to get hard copy of it for time. So that is it really. So this is a copy of how the book looks. So those are the issues. It's available everywhere. Even the hard copy is available. So they have made assertions. There were references in the book. You made reference in the book. You said a lot of things, and we know how academic and historical works are done. There will be proper footnoting, proper referencing. There was no proper reference. So they modeled up references at the end of the book. It is clear. The intention is clear. So, and that is what we are addressing.
So if this continues, for instance, you have a span, a period of time to say we want this to be addressed, and probably if it's possible to be erased from the social media, if it's possible to be erased from social media, and if it's not done between so time, this is the next action. My question is, what's the next line of action?
So the next line of action is we've contacted several both local and international cultural associations, like the National Library of Nigeria, the British Library, also the British the museum, and so there are a lot of groups that we have actually written to request that they do a review, a scholarly and academic review of this book. Even in Nigeria, let them go through this book. He who asserts must prove. They have made assertions. Is this historically correct? Is it archaeologically? Are there evidence to back these claims up? And from what I know, this thing, this cultural defamation, it's not. So who predated who, or in a place? It's absurd, really. It's really absurd. So there are a lot of steps. The final action will take are legal actions, and that's why my brother asked that we put a figure to all that will be done by our legal team when we test and we get feedbacks from government agencies that we have sent out petitions and complaints to. Once we get those feedbacks, then the team will also decide on the appropriate steps to take. Yes.
Right. I'd just like to add that you asked if we reached out to them before doing this. Like the barrister has said, we don't have to reach out to them. But one of the reasons why we're doing this is the information is out there in the public. Our voice and our stand also needs to be out there in the public. So when anybody is touching anything about that book, they will also see what we're putting out there. So that in the future, the next generation will say, what did you guys do about it? If you know that the history of Yoruba people has been distorted. So this is what we're doing about it. This is just a fast one. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. In case we don't have any more questions, and we will make these statements available to our members, to the public. Also, we would just like to reiterate, TYF as a global organization, we are looking to be that next generation institution, and we also will be the voice of the entire Yoruba people, both locally, both in Nigeria and internationally. So that is what we as a group are looking. Our main purpose are just three things: protect, promote, and preserve the Yoruba cultural heritage. That is the major thing we are after. So Thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be taking pictures. Please, our members, please come. There's a certain better. Thank you so much.
Eight people. Like, there's a better lighting outside.